Then something also which is like about French customs and how like French are thinking. There is a clear distinction in France between like private life. Actually I made a mistake. This is not private. Well, the distinction is between public work life and private personal life. Very huge distinction. Which means like, for example, at work, you will not talk that much about like private matters. This is not something that is supposed to be linked to work. So for example, with your colleagues, if they are not your friends, you will not talk that much about private things. And like in Japan, you will not go after work drinking with your colleagues, for example. Because like when work is finished, You go back home, you have time with your family, and you have your own hobbies or something, and you don't, work is finished, like it's like that. It's really important in France.
It's completely separate.
It's completely separated, yeah. Well, of course, if your colleagues become your friend, it's different. But mainly, you're trying to make it separated. And like as you may know, France has actually one of the least long hours of work. So this is actually, maybe you cannot watch, like who works the most. So this is Korea, Greece, I don't know, Japan, United States, this is France. And these are the northern countries of Europe, Germany and I don't know, maybe Denmark? I don't know. So we have actually, in France, the normal time of working per week is like 35 hours only. So this is pretty low. And this is very important for us because we need time outside of work to have our like hobbies, or time with our family, which is so this one. Leisure and personal time, Japan, United States, and France. France is much higher. And what do we do with this time? Well, we have like our personal hobbies, but mainly time with the family. It's very important in France. So it's not like in Japan is quite different for that, I think. So like for example, in the evening you finish at like I don't know 5:30. You go back to your house. You take care of your kids, like you do whatever you want. But yeah, you have time in the evening, and the weekend is very important too. And mainly like Sunday. Sunday is a personal or family day, so you don't touch to Sunday in France. Like nobody's supposed to work on Sunday. So if you've been to France, maybe you know. Try to go to a shop on Sunday in France. It's like everything is closed.
Even a grocery store would be closed?
Yeah. Well, more and more, like there are some shops open on like a Sunday morning, but like, yeah. So it's like you go shopping on Saturday, and on Sunday, well, you don't go shopping. You have time with your family. You do whatever you want. It's very important. So, and when government is trying to touch to this right, strikes, demonstrations. Yeah, very important. Yeah, that's what I can say about that. Then I've talked a bit about that, but like the critical mind of French people and their temper. So French are very prone to judgment. So this is directly linked to what I said before. They have their own opinion. They want to share their opinion, and they think that their opinion is better than maybe someone else. Because it's their opinion, it means that they have like some argument, like they can argue for their opinion, right?
Yes.
And so they think that the other people, well, their opinion is not as good as them, right? So they would judge easily. So that's why maybe you know about that, but France is the most visited country in the world. But it's also the country like of French people who are supposed to be the worst tourists in the world. Everybody say that. Because they're always complaining about like everything, like food, and like this is not as good as in France, this is not good, and like French food is better, and French, I don't know, music or anything is better. It's supposed to be like that. I don't know, I'm not that kind of tourist, I hope. But it seems that they're pretty bad. And why? Because actually, well, they have their opinion about their country, about what they think is good, and they want to share it. So they want to make their feeling and thoughts known to others. It's not a problem in France to do that. I think it's pretty different, like in Japan. It's like, if you are angry, if you are not satisfied with something, you don't show it clearly with your face, for example. In France, you show it, making your face and being like, oh no, it's very not good here, or like something like this. So in France, it's okay, you can show your feelings. This is part of of like showing your opinions. But we don't get angry that easily, maybe, I think. Not like in the south countries of Europe, for example, or south countries of the world, where like, they would like get angry and talking with their hands and doing like this, and like, or even American people maybe would be a bit
hostile, yeah.
Yeah, it's easier for them maybe to get like angry and like showing things or fight or like.
Yeah.
In France, no, we just show with our face and say like very rude things maybe, which is not better, but well, that's how France is. And well, if I say that, maybe you're gonna have a very bad opinion of French people. All French people are not like that, and we are trying to be nice too. But some people, it seems, are like that. Especially people that didn't go to foreign countries. Very French people. These kind of people, maybe, they don't try to think about what the other people are thinking about. And something I think is a bit funny about France is like the driving manners. So I don't know if anybody of you try to get in a French car with a French people driving. It's pretty like terrible because like I don't know. I think when we're in our car, it's like our house, our home, our private thing, and so we think that we are like superior. Or I don't know. And if like people try to, if they drive badly and try to like, go like this, then the driver would get very, very angry and like insulting people. So he was like, "What are you doing? Like you asshole!" Like, like very rude, very, very rude. So maybe if you have this like experience, you can understand. It's like, but it's okay. They're not really angry actually. They're just like, I don't know, they're stressed maybe and trying to express themselves. Yeah, it's okay. They are not gonna try to, like, they do that because actually everything is closed, right? So people cannot understand that. They cannot hear that. But if they could, then they would not do that, I think. That's a bit strange. Yeah, this is quite funny. And let's talk about, I think this is consequences of that. The service in France. So who have been to France here? So quite a lot of people. So maybe you know about that. France has a very bad reputation for like the service. So in France, the client is not the king. Everywhere in the world, maybe the client is supposed to be the king. In France, it's not. And you have to actually earn the respect of the staff by being respectful and being nice to them. So it should be the opposite, but in France, it's like this. Maybe because the workers' rights are really strong, maybe it's because of that, the worker will think that like their job is doing this, and if you ask more, then it's not their job, and they're going to tell you, "Oh no, I don't know, it's not my job to do that." What? You're supposed to be the staff here. So this is a quite huge problem in France actually, especially in Paris. So this is kind of a funny picture here. So this is written like price of coffee. So it's in a like cafe shop. Price of the coffee. If you say like coffee, it's gonna be like 7 euros. If you say coffee please, then it's gonna be like 5 euros, around 5 euros. And if you say like hello, can I have a coffee please, then it's gonna be only like 1 or 2 euros. Well, of course it's a joke. It's not really like that, but it shows you like it's really written in a coffee. This is really like sometimes it's really written like that because they want you to be respectful and they want you to be nice with them. If you are not, then they're not gonna be. So this is something I think is good to know when you go to France. So and then you have like some like do and don'ts in France. So first thing is like if you can try to speak French. It would be very, very good to have the favor of the staff actually. So of course only few words are okay. Like you can say like bonjour, you can say like merci, or like s'il vous plaît. It's enough. But if you try to speak French, they will be like, oh, okay, this is not a like normal and rude tourist. It's someone that likes France and want to like make an effort. So I'm gonna be nice to him or to her. Yeah, and try to be polite. I say use vous because in France there are two different things, vous and tu. So both are you, but like vous is like when you talk to someone you are not friends with, you don't know that much, okay. And tu will be your family and friends. And like some people learn French and they start talking with tu to everybody. And like in a shop they would say tu. This is quite rude actually. So if you do that, maybe the staff will be don't talk to me like that. I'm not your friend. Oh. So if you can, use vous. S'il vous plaît, not s'il te plaît, for example. S'il vous plaît. Or it's okay if you do some mistakes, like they're not gonna eat you. Yeah. Second thing, like try to be aware of hierarchy. Like hierarchy in France is really important. So for example, at work, your colleagues, well, this is quite normal for Japan, I think. You don't behave the same way with your colleagues and your boss, for example. But for example, in America, they tend to be very friendly, actually, even with their boss.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hello, like, hi, and like, in France, don't try to do that if you're not friends with your boss. Like, you have to be respectful of the hierarchy. But I think it's kind of like in Japan, so it should be okay. And like, even in a shop, for example, you ask something to some, I don't know, you are in McDonald's, and you try to get something, and the guy will be like, oh no, like, this is not my job, I don't know, like, don't try to make them change their mind, because actually, they are not responsible, and they think they are not responsible. So if you want to ask something, ask the manager, because then you're going to have a person who's responsible and who can make things change. The like low staff, they don't care. They are not responsible. Then about like being late or not, maybe you've like experimented that. If you are with French friends, being late is normal. Like up to like 15 minutes, so it's not that bad. For example, in Spain, it would be like 30 minutes, something like 45 minutes. It's crazy. So a little, it's like we say it's a French quarter. So it's like the 15 minutes you can be late. But at work, no, of course, like business meeting, right, should be on time.
We have something similar to that in the
Yeah?
United States, but actually ours is for work.
Ah.
You're allowed to be 5 minutes late for work, always. If you,
Even for work.
Yeah, if you clock in to your job, you're supposed to be there at 8 o'clock. If you clock in at 8:04.59, you're not late. But 8:05,
yeah.
you're late.
In France, you would be late at work, but France, it's okay. Next thing I talked a bit about before is like the galanterie. So how you should behave with a woman. So it's okay if you are a man and you go to France, don't be like too stressed, like I have to do like things, I don't know what, like baisement. Do you know baisement, like doing this? This is something that we don't do in France anymore. Like maybe a long time ago, like, and especially in like high class, like the rich people, like they would do that. Don't try to do that in France. Maybe the woman will be, you're gross. So don't try that. You can, of course, like hold the door, for example, is something we do. We really do. Some men do. But it's okay. I mean, this is not something that is that important anymore. And actually, like now, the women are trying to be like equal of men. So sometimes they don't like that. So there are some people coming to France being like, oh, France is a romantic country. I have to like be super careful, and they're gonna try to do things that women will not like, because they're like, no, like why are you behaving different with me than with a man, for example? I'm a bit like that actually. That's why I know. Yeah. So just be normal. It's okay. And then the table manners. So when you eat, eating in France is very, very important. It's like the meal time is very important. So like when you eat with French people, you need to, like I say, like enjoy eating. So like just if you like eating and you show that, it's really great for French. Eat like what you are served. Don't say, for example, well, of course, if you have a real allergy or something, you can say. But like if you say like, I don't really like that and I don't like it, it's quite rude for France. It's like you should eat what we give you because it's good. And like eat when it's time to eat. It means like, for example, in French, lunchtime is between 2 and 4, not 2 and 4, 12 and 2, okay. Lunchtime. If you go to a restaurant at 4 and you ask for lunch, they're gonna be like, no lunch at 4, no. So like it's very important. In the evening, it should be like between 7 and 9, I would say. Not later, not sooner. So it's very important. And something that is like, well, it's anecdotic, but like when you drink wine, no water in the wine. It's like so rude. It's like wine is supposed to be good like that. Don't put water or anything in your wine. So, and then don't leave food. I know that, well, I've heard that in Japan, if you leave a little bit of food, it's supposed to be maybe like polite or something. I don't know. In France, it's not. If people give you food, you eat everything you have in your plate, and it's good. It means that it's good. Okay. So well, these are like little things, but if you go to France, maybe it can be